I was basically told before I go to sea, keep $100 in your bag, write a will, get Revolut.
Okay, so we'd say welcome back to another video, but it's not really welcome back because not really done much. But today we're going to do an interview with a cadet. Now it's easy for me to say cadet because literally about a year ago I was also a cadet. But now I'm lucky enough to be in a third officer position because I passed my licence, and Harvey is a cadet that is in his first sea phase, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, Harvey, and we've got a list of questions on here on the phone. It's nothing too special, but just a casual interview. Obviously, you can tell Harvey's not in uniform. Harvey's leaving tomorrow, so we give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But first of all, Harvey, if you can quickly introduce yourself.
So my name's Harvey Henderson. I'm a cadet at Maritime Academy. I've been a cadet for a year now, and I'm on my phase 2 sea phase.
Okay, phase 2 sea phase. So phase 1 is at college, right?
Yes.
So Warsash, and that's in Southampton. You're with a cruise ship company, we say the name, MSC?
Yes, I'm currently with MSC Cruises.
Okay, currently with MSC Cruises. And this is your first company, or you had a company?
This is my second company.
Second company.
I transferred from P&O Ferries.
P&O Ferries. So for phase 2, fantastic, and a little bit of background from yourself. So we've got a list of questions. So what made you want to go to sea?
Well, I've always wanted to be at sea from when I was younger.
Okay.
And this was a good opportunity for me to live my life at sea with also a bit of comfort.
Yeah, fantastic, because you get to enjoy a little bit, right,
Yes.
on the passenger ship. Why did you choose the cadet route?
I chose the cadet route because I would like to become master, and this is one of the best ways of learning and becoming a master.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones where I think the question is a bit like, you know, it's unless you go to the Navy, this is the only real qualification you can have to progress, because obviously you need to be a cadet. Every captain has been a cadet, right?
Yes.
This is how he's working. Why cruise ships specifically and not like a tanker or a cargo ship?
I've always liked cruise ships as an item to be able to help people, also to transport people,
Yeah.
to have that interaction with the guests.
Yeah.
But also, it's a short voyage, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
And you're not spending a lot of time at sea doing nothing.
And you're in port a lot of the times, you get
Yes.
to enjoy a little bit more, right? And no, I think you're completely right, and that's like me with people, you know, I'm a people person. I think you definitely are as well, even more than I am. So, you know, our cargo is passengers, right? So this is definitely a interesting thing. Has the reality matched your expectations? I think when people have an idea of cruise life, they think, oh, travelling, earning tax-free money, all this stuff, but is it really like that?
I'd say it is. I mean, it's still tax-free, but to be taxed, you have to make over a certain amount. And...
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But no.
You say that lightly, yeah, though, to be fair.
But of course, when you look on TikTok and you see dancers who make a lot more money and do a lot less, it's
it's kind of like drops your motivation a little bit. I think you're completely right there. Like the dancers is, do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a job on board, and I know that you know that. We all know that. Like everyone's got a position on board. But the thing is, when you are a cadet, you do take on responsibility as well. Like responsibility that is supervised. So if you do make a mistake, there's nothing too bad that can happen. But it's responsibility. You are waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes if you're on the 4 to 8 watch. You are working the 10, 12 hours a day. So it's not something that is, you know, it's not easy, and you're getting paid very little to do it. And that can, it's hard, you know, you do struggle with the motivation. Most of the time, I think as you can say, you do spend most of your time as a cadet in debt and owing money because it's it really is, you know, you have to get student loans and this kind of stuff to support you that way. Okay, moving on to the next question. Walk us through your typical day on board, Harvey.
Typical day on board, wake up at about 9 o'clock, spend 2 hours with the safety officer. This could be doing checks, maintenance, rounds. It could be anything to do with safety and life-saving apparatuses.
Yeah.
Then from about 11 to 1 o'clock, I'll be with the environmental officer, learning procedure and...
So this is like MARPOL and stuff like that?
MARPOL and all the environmental stuff on a ship that carries 8,000 people.
So for those that don't know, on a cruise ship we have an environmental officer. It's a role that they're not having on like cargo ships, but is ensuring that because we have so much garbage and sewage, we need a dedicated person to take care of it. So
the waste of 8,000 people.
The waste of 8,000, yeah, there we go. So carry on.
And then I have a 2-hour break.
Okay.
And then after this, I do the 4 to 8 watch.
Yep.
Which is the departure watch.
Yeah.
So this is when I will be doing checks, and then the ship will be leaving.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's bed. Oh, it's
bedtime.
Hour in the crew
Well,
bar,
you got
then
to
bed.
enjoy an evening as well. So 4 to 8 watch. So what will you do on the bridge and departure, for instance, as a cadet? So obviously I can speak from my side, but it's not about me. It's about you and what you're doing as a cadet in that watch.
So as a cadet, we will be doing the tests for the sound-powered phones.
Okay.
We will be testing the propulsion, seeing what way it turns.
Okay.
The logs.
The logs. So we have an electronic logbook, right? That is like a tablet that you can fill in.
And admin work.
Admin work. So
of course, supervised by the officer.
Of course, yeah. But like alarms as well that can go off and stuff like this.
Alarm, fire alarm, sending the fireman.
Yeah, it's like it is good because you do feel like you're not just stood there, you're not doing nothing. You are doing stuff that is like, you know, supervised by the officer. So you're doing, when they say the admin, you're kind of doing the job that I do, but like supervised by someone like me or the other officer, whoever's on the 4 to 8 watch, just so you're trained and you're ready to.
Yes.
Because this is the whole point of being a cadet. It's an apprenticeship, and you know you're training to be in the next position.
Gives you a break as well.
That's correct. Okay, so how much time do you spend on the bridge? I think you just answered that.
How much?
There.
So cadets can spend anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours, depends on the operational needs, but usually it's about 4 hours.
About 4 hours. Yeah, and when you're qualified, like you're doing 8 hours, so you can do like. But what they try to do on this ship, which is good, and now in this cruise ship company, is they are doing it that the cadets are not just on the bridge and they're going around with other departments, right? So like you said in your schedule, you're going with the safety officer and the environmental officer, and this has given you a great opportunity to see their job, you know, which is stuff that you still need to know as an officer. So I like this. I like the fact that they do that. I think it's good. How structured is your training on board? I think this is a good one.
So my training on board, it really depends solely on the ship's command.
Yeah.
If it is a good ship's command, it will be structured.
Yeah.
If it's not, it solely depends on the staff captain on board.
What surprised you about the life on board? Anything that surprised you that you didn't know before?
The thing that surprised me is the lack of English crew.
Yeah.
Like I thought there would be more, but I believe there's 15 of us out of 1,785 crew.
We are very much a minority on board. Literally a minority. So yeah, I think you can agree as well. We love to have the diversity and the different cultures. It's great, you know, and I think you also learn a little bit of Italian. Yeah. Probably words that we can't say on the on this episode, but I think that. Yeah, I think we are. It is nice also to have. It's been great to have Harvey here. Maybe I don't know if you can say vice versa. I'm not going to set you up, but it's because we're both from the UK. You know, there's like we joke on the bridge all the time about like you know, comedy in the UK and stuff like this.
And they just don't get it.
Especially Little Britain, which they don't get, and Come Fly With Me, we like that one. But anyway, moving on, what's better than you expected, but or maybe in what's harder than you expected?
What's better than I expected is the nightlife. To go to the crew bar, to go to sushi.
This is something really nice.
To have shops if you need something.
Yeah.
Whereas what I didn't expect is kind of how little English can be spoken sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Which can be a challenge.
That's probably a really good roundup, really, of it. So yeah, you are, as a cadet on board the cruise ship, especially this company, we are lucky, really. Even when I was a cadet, I was being able to do this stuff as well. We can go around the ship at night time, and which is really nice. I think it was a really nice thing, a perk for our job.
Perk of the job.
And harder than you expected is the lack of the English crew, was it that you said?
Well, the lack of it, just English speaking, can be a bit tricky. Yeah,
it can be a bit tricky, especially, you know, we're a bridge team of full Italians. It can be a little bit isolating sometimes, kind of when everything's going on in Italian. But I tend to, I think that's something you do kind of like, you get over it, you know, it's like crack on. Yeah. Anything that I need to know has to be in English, so this is the main thing. But, you know, I completely get it. It can be really, like, hard when everyone's speaking Italian. You want to know what's going on, of course. You know, you want to know, especially when there's, like, a drama or something. You want to, like, what's going on? But, you know. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about college, Harvey. So what is the college phase actually like? And I know what you've told me, and it's not all academia, so...
Of course, college phase is mostly, or the first phase is mostly maths related, especially for me. For a HND cadet, it's mostly maths, getting your maths up to a par.
HND is what? Sorry?
A High National Diploma.
High National Diploma. So yeah, this is the same route that I did as well. So
bring your level up to maths.
Yeah.
Then at night, you work. Sometimes I've been in the library until 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Not proud of it. Then probably
not on a Saturday though. Or a Wednesday student night or whatever.
Wednesday student night, 8 o'clock, and then you'd spend until from 9 till 2 in the morning.
And then you'd forget everything because,
in the nightclub.
Okay. So yeah, no, this is good things. How intense do you think is the workload? Like, how fast is the learning and this kind of thing?
At the minute, it wasn't too high, but it was just getting your maths up to level. When I go back,
it's introduction kind of thing.
When I go back in a week, that's when it gets tricky. Start doing my Scottish equivalents, SQAs.
SQAs, yeah. Yeah, and this is something I was speaking to Harvey about because it's something that I did, and honestly, I did quite struggle with the SQAs. They're not simple exams really, and you do learn a lot. Obviously, it's all in time. You know, you have enough time to put the work in and revise for them. But yeah, this is something that is quite a challenge in our industry. Actually, though, from my side, I found the SQAs probably on the same level as the orals, and the orals is really the end goal. Anyway, moving on, we're going to go to the next question, which is, which subject did you enjoy the most?
What subject? Mine was general shipping knowledge.
Okay, general shipping knowledge.
GSK. It was the basics of the ship, how a ship works, port operations, to get an understanding of how a ship runs.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, no, this is, I think you also like your history about ships as well. I mean, it's a shame we don't do a subject on college about history of ships, because you would pass with A star or the equivalent now. Yeah. 1 to 9 system, yeah. Anyway, how did you find that transition between the college and the ship? Do they prepare you enough at college for very good, because I also agree.
I was basically told before I go to sea, keep $100 in your bag or keep $100 in your wallet, write a will, and go to get Revolut.
And start and get a pack of Benson Hedges or something like this. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah, get a Revolut is good advice though.
Yeah,
that is good advice.
Revolut.
Like Monzo also something
very good.
So, but yeah, I think that they don't prepare you enough. I think that it's like very
hectic.
Yeah, I mean, but also just to understand general things on the bridge, so you don't look stupid when you go in. Like, I don't know, like how in your first contract, how to use the Mason's hydrometer, how to, just these general things about being on a ship, looking a little bit more on the ecdis and how to set up an ecdis and radar and stuff like that.
Even something as small as using an azimuth ring, I was never taught.
Using an azimuth ring, yeah, exactly that. It's a really good one. You never actually get taught how to use an azimuth ring, and some people might think, oh, it's just simple and easy, but to actually go through that and go through a full gyro error of how you're doing it from the azimuth ring, from the ecdis or the because we have an ecdis integrated radar on here, so this is why I say the radar. But to take the information, and walk through it actually like it is on board a ship, and then write it in a compass error logbook would be a really good thing, like a really good,
very rewarding
exercise to do on land, except from just they give you a calculation, actually be able to do something similar.
And of course at Warsash, because we've got such high quality simulators, we are able to facilitate that.
Yeah, definitely. I've not been to one, I was a Newcastle student, but I've not been there, but I'm sure that this is something that would be really, great for the cadets. Okay, any advice for passing exams? Just
don't drink.
Don't drink. Yeah.
Try to limit your vices.
Yeah.
Personally, with me, before my maths, I panicked and had a whole pack of cigarettes.
Right.
And I remember going, oh, I can do this, and I did.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But yeah, limit your vices.
I wouldn't give you that advice for cigarettes, but that's
limit your vices.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think also flashcards for me was something that really worked. Yeah. The whole flashcard thing is a really, really good thing to do, I think. Have you had any difficult or low moments, like your mental health? Like it's hard, right? On board, it can be hard.
Everyone has low. Anyone who tells you they haven't are lying.
Yeah, it's true.
To work with people from another country, another type of humour.
Yeah,
it can be degrading sometimes, but it has to be done.
Yeah, no, it's true. You really have to ride and just keep with it. I think the thing is when you come from home, you have all your friends, family, loved ones around you, and then you come on board a ship and you really start from zero, and you have to build up that reputation. When I first came on board, no one showed me to the bridge, no one showed me around. You get left, and it's like, okay, I've got to kind of like build that reputation up. Now that you're leaving, you've got all these friends on board. You've got like these officers that you think actually like they're my family now that I've been on board, which is sad, but you'll see them again in other contracts.
Especially because I spent Christmas, New Year's with them
as well.
That's
yeah, Christmas is a hard time as well being on board a ship. So what advice would you give to a Phase 1 cadet? Like that, maybe you think, if I'd known that piece of information, like even what to bring in your suitcase, like
what to bring in your suitcase. Sometimes they will do special events for holidays, bring a small thing for the holiday. But also to try and learn a bit of Italian, just a bit.
This is very specific to this company, though, isn't it?
Company specifically.
Yeah, do a little bit of Duolingo.
Bit of Duolingo gets you done.
But You will be fine also to speak in English, but it would help maybe a little bit just to know the small words, because I think people, they respect as well. If you start to learn a little bit of their language, they respect you, because we have it easy. We know English because we were born in the UK, and we know English from mother tongue, but other countries, they have to learn it as well, which is can be hard.
Yes, the biggest thing is to treat people how you like to be treated.
Of course, yeah. Nevertheless of the rank or anything, this is something that I was always...
Treat the master and the kitchen utility the same.
That's right, yeah. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, something like that.
No.
Okay, and quick fire round. This is going to be the kind of the end. I think we've done a good 20 minutes here. It's not going to be a long one, but best port so far?
Best port, Bridgetown, Barbados.
Bridgetown, Barbados. Why?
Because it has one of the best beaches on the island.
Has one of the best beaches on the island. Okay, fair enough. Favourite food on board?
Favourite food on board? The sushi on board is brilliant.
Sushi, and the mozzarella as well, you like, no?
Oh, the mozzarella's good.
Sushi is really nice. Harvey's going to do sushi a lot. Best view you've ever seen at sea?
Probably coming docked up in Porto Delgata with all the big cliffs.
In Porto Delgata, the big cliffs, okay. Worst sea state you've experienced?
Worst sea state is we had 50 knot winds and 6 metre swell in the Bay of Biscay.
50 knot winds, okay, yeah, so not so nice. And
very rough for the passengers.
You could feel it, yeah. We do have stabilisers, but even then it's hard,
Stabilisers won't do anything.
I like to feel that we're on a ship sometimes, though. And also, it's nice, when they have rough weather, the buffet is always empty, so we always get...
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice for us. But, passengers first, of course. One thing you miss the most about being at sea from home,
I miss my like regional delicacies and all that, like my pasty and all that.
So tell them where you're from. So pasty, I think alarm bells are ringing. You're from
Cornwall.
Cornwall, there we go. So Cornish pasty.
Yeah, good Cornish pasty.
Yeah.
I miss
so
a lot.
you can't really get that on board, right?
No.
I mean, you were in the UK season for a little bit, weren't you? And then we came over to Caribbean season. And we're going back now in about 2 months, back to Southampton. So good for me, I'll be able to get off in Southampton and have a Greggs if I want to, and go to the IKEA or whatever. And one thing you love most about the life at sea?
I love the life at sea is it's never the same. Never the same day. Same port, never the same.
It's true. It is true. And I think the thing is, when people say, like, it's easy to think, there's no days off and this kind of stuff, which is true. There is no days off. When you're working at sea, you don't have a day off. But for me, the thing is, like, time goes quick. That's one thing. I really think time goes quick. You're in a schedule. The best thing for my mental health on the ship is mostly very good. Sometimes I struggle, but you're always in a routine, and routine is the best thing. Yeah. And because you're in that routine, you can really take it. You can really get your stuff together.
But may I add?
Yeah.
With the cadets on board, the biggest advice I could give.
Yeah.
Do not run yourself into the ground. You're here to work. Yeah. But you're also here to enjoy. Yeah. You have to balance both, or you will run yourself into the ground. The reason why people have picked a cruise ship as well is because you're having that balance, between a little bit of a little bit of enjoyment, but most work. And this is always something I said with Harvey. Like, really, I think you can enjoy, but you have to work hard, of course. So when I was ringing Harvey up and saying, Harvey, come to the lifeboat checks, you were coming. We were doing the lifeboat checks together. Put the work in the day. You do your jobs, all this stuff, and you go above and beyond. And then the night time, you can enjoy a little bit. Never go out of board. As a watchkeeping officer, for me, anything like that is out of question. But to enjoy the sushi and go like this and just walk around the ship, it's very impressive to walk around the ship and think, wow, there's 8,000 people on this ship or whatever. And then when you're off the ship, to look at the ship and think, I'm on the bridge of this ship and I'm the one that's navigating it in night time, and this kind of stuff is quite a special thing, because there's only 3 of us on the bridge, 4 with the cadet as well. But this is something very, very incredible. A luxury for you. It's something that is also cool, but it's also oh my god, for someone that didn't do well at school to being in this position now is it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, this is kind of a very cheesy one, but if you could describe the cadet life in 3 words, what would they be? Tough, rewarding and challenging. Tough, rewarding and challenging. Okay, so you got a 2 versus 1 there. Yeah. Rewarding, I think is very true. What are the moments where you felt rewarded? Rewarded when we first went to dry dock. Yeah. And I was on the mooring deck, touching the bottom and being towed, and taking the mooring lines off. Was the best feeling. This is that is and I think coming as well, you're going to get a lot of rewards
in the college doing the exams and stuff like that. And the most reward is at the end, is the license. And when coming through the post, it's like a really special moment because you think, wow, you know, it's
I've done it.
Yeah, you've done it. And you know, it's all good and it's all down the road. And if you ever need any help, you know that I'm always here, message away. Not that I think that I'll remember all the stuff, especially the manual stability calculations, all of this rubbish, but you know, it's I'm someone that's gone through it. I think the main thing is don't take yourself too seriously as well, because a lot of people, they always want to, you know, obviously you do the serious stuff on the watch, may I say, you know, everything's serious, all this stuff, but outside, you know, you've got to have a laugh, you've got to enjoy.
Yeah.
You take seriously when you need to, but enjoy the cadetship. And the most important thing is, when you look back on it, you're never going to remember the bad memories, you're never going to remember all these bad things that happen sometimes, because it's hard. You're always going to remember the good stuff. From my experience, I look back and think, wow, from the time of me being 18 to 20 as a cadet, like, or 21, it was fantastic. And I think you'll look back and think, wow, like all the great people you met. Maybe you'll remember a few of the bad ones, but you always move on and don't look back in anger. So,
but the bad ones teach you the best.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. The bad ones do teach you the best, and sometimes the bad ones turn out to be good ones in the end.
Disguise, yeah.
Because you realise actually they're doing it in a harsh way. That's why I said to Harvey, it's better not to have the officer that just lets you do whatever they want. You know, that's why I try to, you know. But yeah. Anyway, that's Harvey. I've been Reuben, and I really hope you gained something from this. But yeah, no, Harvey, any final?
No, I said thank you for inviting me here.
No worries. It's something where I'm not like, it's not me being like interview with a cadet like I was a cadet a year ago, which has felt quite rewarding the other day when I was signing Harvey's cadet book. I was like, oh my god, wow, I'm putting my initials in for an officer and thing. It's like the whole circle route. And in 1 or 2 years, whenever you finish the college, you will, you know, be in this position as well. But I can just, you know, give my advice as a cadet and when I was a cadet. And yeah. Anyway, that's all from my side and Harvey. And thanks very much.
Thank you.
Somehow,